Hi everyone, I'm Roxie Deer from the Wayne County Area Chamber of Commerce. I'm the Director of Professional Development. But today I'm hosting Chamber Chat and I'm really excited to be joined virtually with two of Wayne County's greatest women, Kim Thurlow from Ivy Tech and Sarah Mitchell from the EDC. Welcome, ladies.
Hello.
Thank you.
So why don't we start with just quick updates from your offices. Kim, we'll start with you. Just tell us a little bit about what you're working on at Ivy Tech right now.
Well, we are working on adapting to continuing service, of course, first to our students as our primary goal, and then continuing to adapt how we work with employers, both in some virtual space and in some on-site space with employers doing training. Staying in touch with all of our counties, working a lot with our economic development partners like Sarah to find out what our employers need so that they know we are still here and ready to serve them even in this new normal.
That's great. So adaptive. Education's had to change their face and what they do every single day, it seems like, and Ivy Tech's been a great leader in that. Sarah, what is the EDC working on?
So the EDC is currently meeting with all of the school districts in Wayne County, and we're just trying to find our ways of partnering in this new normal, as Kim referred to. We have a lot of business education related partnerships that we do as part of the school year in trying to help with Manufacturing Day, for example, as well as other workforce development potentials. So we have Find a Job Friday, where we go into the schools and we have employers come in on a first and third Friday of the month, and they are just connecting with the students during their lunch hour. We also have Manufacturing Day, which is held the first Friday in October annually. And the goal of Manufacturing Day is to try to inspire this next generation of manufacturers and educate the public at large about the importance of the role of manufacturing, as well as kind of debunk the myth that it's just dirty and gritty job. You know, manufacturing is very high tech and clean in a lot of respects. So that's another big part of Manufacturing Day. We also have work keys testing that we do within the schools, and that is a schools assessment where students can find their aptitude for a career path. We work with the school districts on many different workforce development projects. So we're just trying to find our best way of fitting in this year with not being able to go into the schools. They have a similar policy as Kim described, where they're not having anyone come in, no visitors. So we're just trying to think of ways to do things virtually. We have Who's Your Opportunity, which is our job marketing platform where we have jobs in the area that we market to area residents. So we're just trying to find our best way to fit in. And so far we've met with 3 out of the 5 school districts. So we look forward to meeting with the other 2.
Great, thank you. So I brought both of you here today to talk a little bit more about the National Manufacturing Day that Sarah mentioned. We know it's coming up. I believe you said October 3rd. Sarah, why don't you, and you did a little bit in your intro, tell us a little bit more about why we participate in this event and who it serves and just what the day has looked like in the past.
Sure. So it is October the 2nd, which is the first Friday in October. No, you're doing fine. But the true mission of Manufacturing Day is to build a steady pipeline of qualified workers to move into the manufacturing field. There are expected to be about 3.5 million job openings in manufacturing, and there's a skill shortage right now. So they're trying to find ways of getting interest from those that are in the pipeline for careers, specifically high school students. And in the past, we've been able to promote it by having the students visit local plants here within Wayne County. They are on a site tour of one plant in the morning. We do a lunch at Ivy Tech, and they show a video about a lot of the programs that they offer, as well as some other videos to try to educate the students on what a career manufacturing looks like. And then in the afternoon, we do another tour. So the students are able to go on 2 tours. Typically we have anywhere between 150 and maybe 250 students that participate as part of the day. We usually get 4 or 5 of the school districts to participate. And it's a day-long celebration. We put social media posts out and then follow the day with a video showing still images and some video of what the students were able to encounter that day. It's a really great day. It's a lot of fun. They put on the whole safety gear, the glasses and the helmets and all of that. So
last year I got the opportunity to, I guess, chaperone or visit with one of the groups, and we started the day at CIT and ended at another plant, and it was just so much fun to see the students get to interact. And while they've been on tours before, the businesses really try to make these interactive, and they try to give them like the firsthand experience that they will get to see. And of course they love going to Ivy Tech. So Kim, tell us a little bit about why Ivy Tech is involved in this and how important it is to our community.
Sure. Well, Ivy Tech sees this obviously as a very, very high priority career pathway. At the community college, we're very focused on equipping students quickly to enter the workforce. And as Sarah mentioned, and you've recognized, Roxie, there's just so much potential in manufacturing. And we are trying to continually lift up that sector through initiatives like Manufacturing Matters and participating in Manufacturing Day to allow people to really explore what all of the potential is in that sector. So we have a lot of industrial technology programs, robotics programs, electrical programs at Ivy Tech. We're very proud of those hands-on programs and how they meet industry needs. So it is often just the need to explore and understand. When I talk to students, I try to really confirm for them that it's not just, you know, line work, which is a great occupation as well, but you can get into so many different areas in manufacturing. You can do marketing and research and safety and supervision and sales and research and development, accounting, and, you know, it's an entire environment. So it's exciting to talk to students about it, and then, you know, even reach their parents with that message about how much opportunity there is right here in our community.
Yeah, when I was in high school, when I thought about manufacturing, I thought about the line workers, and I thought, oh, I can't do that. But when I got older, I realized, oh, they need HR directors, they need accountants, they need all of those people. So it's not just your line workers that are visiting. Schools really try to give you a mix of people who are going to come back, because as we all three know, our manufacturing companies are paying some of our highest wages in the community. Sarah, obviously this year, 2020, we're not doing things like we've done it in the past. I see Kim making a face. How are you approaching this event this year?
So we have had honest and upfront conversations with the school district so far, and we're talking about a couple of alternatives that might work out for us. And one of those being maybe get clearance for 1 or 2 students from a school district to visit a plant, do some radio TV type video editing, and then showing that on Manufacturing Day. We've also talked about bringing in either someone from the chamber EDC staff to meet at a manufacturing plant, and then have a Zoom live presentation where we would go through, have headsets on and all of that, and have interviews with the people there at the plant, as well as anyone in management, and then have a portion of it where the students could ask questions and be more interactive. So that way they kind of still have that firsthand experience that Manufacturing Day really promotes, because that's really what changes that perception and people's opinions individually about the opportunities that are there in the plant. So those are some of the options we're looking at for 2020, but we are open to suggestions, and we've been taking those in as we've talked to the local school districts.
If somebody's interested and they're watching this and they work at a factory and they're interested in getting their factory involved in this, who can they contact?
Sure, I think any of us would be open to hearing from them, but you can contact us here directly at the EDC. We're at waynecounty.com. You can either call us at 765-983-4769, and I'm sure that Roxie or Kim would be happy to hear from you as well, because we're all partners in this.
Yeah, it's such a great day for our community. Kim, will you talk a little bit about, and just briefly, why or how students, if they're interested in taking more classes at Ivy Tech, maybe to skill up, what they can do?
Sure. Ivy Tech is continually enrolling and advising students. We run on 8-week cycles. So there are opportunities. We started a new term today, but we would encourage anyone interested at any time to reach out to our main campus switchboard or via email to make an advising appointment. We're very accessible. We're still doing face-to-face appointment-driven advising for students, and there's a lot of opportunities. We haven't held up on anything that we're doing. We're just doing it in different and new ways. So excited to hear from anybody who might be interested in coming to Ivy Tech.
Great. You're such a great partner for this program, and I'm so excited that all three of our organizations get to work together for this. So thank you, ladies, for joining me. My next interview will be with Mary Walker, and we will be talking about the projects that are working with our arts programs here in Wayne County. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Hi, everyone. Welcome back. My name is Roxie Deer. I'm the Director of Professional Development for the Wayne County Area Chamber of Commerce. And in our previous segment, you heard about National Manufacturing Day, but I'm also excited to have Mary Walker from the Wayne County Tourism Bureau here with me today. Welcome, Mary.
Well, thank you very much. It's nice to be here.
Yeah, I know this is different from being in the studio, but I really appreciate you taking time out of your day to chat with me. And I know you've got a lot of projects going on. What's the Tourism Bureau up to?
Well, actually, coming up Labor Day weekend, as we've had every year, we have to bid on it, but we have Autumn Oaks coming. This is the first event in terms of an actual group event that we've been able to host since COVID-19 came on the scene. Unfortunately, as we all know in our own businesses, we had so many cancellations because of mandates and all of that. And so this will be really the first actual group participant. Autumn Oaks has people coming from 32 states in Canada. It will be much, much different this year than it has been in years past. There will be no spectators. They have taken huge precautions from a safety measurement standpoint, have worked with the health department, and so they will put all of those safety protocols into place, but it feels a little bit normal, if that's a word, in this time period, to have something like that we've had for the last 27 years occur. So keep your fingers crossed. We don't have any issues between now and Labor Day, and it will go as planned. Those kinds of things bring huge economic impacts into our community. And so while we talk about the not-for-profits and tourism and the industry as a whole having really a devastating time in this unprecedented time we're living in, this is just one more thing that allows people from outside to spend their money into our economy.
Great. Well, we're really excited about that. Even though spectators aren't allowed this year, we love when groups like this choose Wayne County. We know that they see a great event and they have a great community to host it in, but we see the economic piece of that. So thank you for your hard work on that project.
It takes everyone, so thanks everyone.
So Mary, during COVID-19, you played a really important role for a very specific group in our community, the arts foundations and the quality of life that they provide. We know a lot of those groups had to shut down completely. They're not able to do face-to-face programs that they have. So why don't you talk to us a little bit about what you did and what exists for those groups?
Sure. When we talk about necessarily what we did, it really was what the not-for-profits did in terms of having to reconfigure and think outside the box. Because when you think about just museums, everything has a touch point. And before COVID-19, the goal is to make museum more interactive. Taking the Wayne County Historic Museum or the Model T or the Levi Coffin Interpretive Center, to making those kinds of experiences, and even Joseph Moore, more interactive. And so when COVID-19 came, that was completely off the table when they started opening 2.5 months later. And so they have really kudos to the not-for-profits in the tourism industry, because they have really worked hard to think outside the box, and it's difficult because it's hard to make those things come alive. But COPA initially, I think they were one of the first organizations, even though they were closed, they did a birdathon, and that was so well received. And, you know, it's just really thinking about what your mission and goals are in each of those respective organizations and saying, how do we do that differently? How do we offer that without having them come on site? And they're doing their annual gala with the Think Outside the Box, which is so appropriate
Yes.
in this time. And that'll be different. That'll be a virtual dinner delivered to their ticket holders, and of course their online auction. And then the symphony, no ability to have in-seating with their participants. So they have, through their sponsorships and foundation gifts, been able to do 3 free music events, and offering those every 4 to 6 weeks, so people can still experience, it's still top of the mind, and still enjoy some sense of the arts. And then you take the Richmond Art Museum. They've just come out with a 3-dimensional virtual tour of their museum, which is really very cool. So it showcases all of their arts through the 3D Matterport technology. And they will be doing their Pottery Palooza, comes up on September 5th. And again, it's not going to be the way it has been in the past, at least for this year. They're going to do a virtual online marketplace and have individual potters and crafters making things so people can actually see them and have interaction that way. So that's exciting, again, and looking at ways that they can still host these events. And the Wayne County Museum, I mean, they just got done with a virtual camp. And what they did, it was an archaeological kit that they sent to those who registered. And it was really neat because every child from 7 to 13 who wanted to participate and made a reservation, they would get this kit, and then they would go online, and then they would have the educational opportunity via Zoom with the Wayne County Museum. And there were two young kids that actually participated from Connecticut. So yeah,
that's so much fun.
And this is really such a cute story because in talking with Karen Shank-Chapman with the Wayne County Museum, she said the grandparents lived here in Richmond and they wanted their grandkids to participate. So they picked up and sent the kits, and then the grandkids participated in Connecticut, which is just, I mean, again, it just goes to show we're only limited to what we create. And so they've got another camp coming, and their Tales of the Departed will now be this year virtual. So they've got some really cool things planned for that. So kind of be on the lookout. But what we found, especially as things started to open up, that people were really anxious to get out. But to be safe about it. They wanted, their expectations were that those that they visited would be a safe environment and follow those CCD protocols. And so things like our Whitewater Valley fossil hunt. I mean, we have been inundated, which is fabulous, with kids and parents and grandparents to do that. Coming to Richmond, Wayne County, the Chocolate Trail is another where they can do on their own. They're not in large groups. But they can have fun experiencing things. The Antique Alley Trails is another thing that are part of our trail venues, but it's something that people can do on their own and do at their leisure and not have to be concerned with 50 people or 100 people at one spot. And of course, our murals are another, the Mural Trail, Enchanted Fairy Trail. And then a new package that we created when we were going through, and I know you did too, all of these webinars and educational components during COVID when we were working remotely of where is this going and what's doable, what's allowable, and being outside was really a key factor. And so we're fortunate and very blessed that we have a lot of outdoor activities. So when you look at things like our Rose Garden, you look at things like Hayes Regional Arboretum, Wilder Nature Center, is not open at this juncture yet because, again, a lot of touch points. How do you compensate for that in a small space? But their trails are auto tour, their mountain biking trails, of course, Cope, and then the Cardinal Greenway. I mean, that they've had a wonderful uptick in visitation. They're working on their Biketoberfest coming up, and so that'll be coming up, and something that I would encourage people, even if they are not huge bike riders, to get out, because you can be as slow and as good or as fast and as good as you want to be. So I would really encourage that. And then we've been working with the state. The state came out with the Hoosier Hospitality Promise, which is a mechanism for anyone, any business, any not-for-profit, to go on their website, and if they have the ability to offer a discount, but also to say that they are following these safe protocols, so that people can go to that location and see what there is to offer. So if there's any businesses or not-for-profits listening, I would encourage you to, if you haven't already, to sign up for that, because it's free and it's a means that the state is promoting heavily, and it's an opportunity for people to understand what you're doing in trying to keep them safe. We've also been, there is a new grant. Now, most of the grants that have been made available have been for the for-profit businesses, and you know, that has been a huge thing. The Wayne County came out, and the city of Richmond, with the disaster recovery loan program of $900,000. So viewing and melding different pots of dollars to include a private sector dollar, which is Economic Growth Group. And so that was a phenomenal thing, even though it was a loan program at 0% with a 6-month deferral payable upon 54 months, up to $25,000. However, that was not available for the not-for-profits. And so the Wayne County Foundation immediately stepped in, and they have created a loan program that is up to $25,000. There is a small 2 to maybe 3% interest on that, but it's nominal when you look at that, and that is specifically for not-for-profits. And so anyone who is interested, who hasn't applied for that, can go to the Wayne County Foundation site and see that disaster loan recovery program. And then, of course, the state just rolled out a $10 million grant program with no match, up to anywhere from $4,500 to $50,000. Again, it's going to be based on the number of recipients, and that will be based on a lot of different things. So there's no guarantees, but they are really trying to make it accessible to not-for-profits, 501c3s, to include the arts, the cultural, even events, but not looking at it from lost fundraising, but different avenues. And then, of course, DMOs, which is destination marketing organizations, which is like our bureau. We, as a 501c6, have not had, I mean, we've seen at the very onset an immediate decrease of over anywhere from 60 to 70%. Was just stopped, and actually was even more than that when it started mid-March, the end of March, and then April had some difficulties because everyone was still mandated to stay home, but that is slowly improving, still at a 50% deficit, but it's going in the right direction. And so I applaud all of the businesses, and whether they're for-profit or not-for-profit, in what they're doing to really do things differently. And the hope is that this doesn't continue forever, and we can get back to some of that experiential, interactive activities that we all enjoy and that we yearn for. But right now, this is where we are, and I applaud all of them for thinking outside the box.
Well, thank you, Mary. You just gave us so much information.
Without even breathing.
Yeah, I don't know how you did that in one big breath. I constantly am thankful that we have groups in our community that provide that quality of place, and our arts, Richmond and Wayne County are so blessed that we have such a great arts scene, and we have environmental centers that are continuously pushing the edge on cool ideas and things that they're doing. And when COVID hit, we immediately at the chamber, we started thinking, okay, how do we keep our businesses and our economy going? And you were a voice in the room that says, but there's another piece here. We have to think about the quality of life. We can have all these businesses, but if people don't have things to go and things to do, this will not be the community that they will want to live in. So thank you. And I know the chamber is very thankful for you constantly thinking about those groups and that quality of place for our community.
Wow. Thank you. But you know, it takes everyone to make a difference. So appreciate that, Roxie.
If people want to get more involved with the Tourism Bureau, who can they reach out to?
Absolutely. They can reach out to me, mwalker@visitrichmond.org. We have all kinds of ways that people can be involved, whether it's volunteering, whether it's working with our groups at some point down the road, whether it's just a variety of things that they can do, whether it's front of the house or the back of the house. And I would just encourage anyone to just even explore it, not even committing initially, just learning more about what kinds of opportunities are available, as well as we can be a great connection point for people that are maybe new to the area, like the chamber and what you serve in that capacity of helping connect them to people and places. I had a I had a phone call that I intercepted, and they were from Chicago, and they're coming here Labor Day weekend and are going to go camping. And in our conversation, she was talking about pickleball and all of that. And in our conversation, she says, well, actually, she said, we're really thinking about moving to Richmond, and this is why we're coming. And so you think about people who are in those larger cities looking at ways to get out of those. And that provides an opportunity for all of us to say, we're here, we have all these great institutions that really for a small community and a small county is amazing. And we just need to do more of that. And so I'm hopeful that there'll be 2 more if they stay, but there's so many more others like that. And we just have to be open to those possibilities.
That's a great reminder, Mary. Thank you so much for joining us today. We always appreciate having you on the show.
Thank you so much, Roxie. Thanks for the invitation.
No problem. Thank you for joining us for this month's episode of Chambered Chat. You can join us Tuesday nights, 8 p.m. on Channel 20 WETV. Thank you.